Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. A moment ago, this Arizona crowd was on its feet. The defensive starters, led by perennial All-Pro Patrick Peterson, were introduced. And they've got a tough one on their hands as they'll square off with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
I know teams always talk about having a 24-hour rule after a game, and eventually we end up rolling our eyes. But it works both ways, right? 24 hours if you win, 24 if you lose. But, boy, it's a fun 24 when you win the game. And you win NFC Offensive Player of the Week, isn't it?
Absolutely. On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago. Now, you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw it right there. They want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch. I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin, 48 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket, because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And this is caught at the 8. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, it's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. He'll try to punch it in. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Rashad Penny, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
All right, here we go. Boom,
on 3rd down, Rollins. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game. And
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
You've got to know as a quarterback that's going to be tough to outthink this guy in the defensive backfield. He's been at it 11 years now, so he knows all the ins and outs of the position, and he's in the right spot there to come up with the interception.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. They were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
No matter what coverage was called, they were in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. I mean, they were running the routes with them. Turned out, they were right there on every single ball thrown and came away with 5 interceptions.
Set, 3-19.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Rollins. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he had to be pleased at the start of the last drive. The offense was moving, but certainly not pleased at the end result, an interception.
And every team we ever talk to, at some point in the conversation, the coach, player, someone talks about, you know, we've got to finish. We've got to finish off drives, finish off the game. There's an example there of not finishing, doing everything right, but not getting the result that you need.
Time for us to introduce you to the defensive starters for Arizona. Against the pass, they've had some issues, ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now Wilson on 2nd down, rolling to his right. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. From the gun, it's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Play action. It's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this 1st half, and they're going to measure revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Now he'll throw deep left side. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum? One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Off the play fake. Rollins. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's Wilson, buying time to his left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
You got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for. Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On second down, Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And this one's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the shotgun, Wilson eluding the pressure right. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
On first down, Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
As far as tight ends go, if you get 3 or 4 touchdowns in a season, that's usually counted as a pretty good year.
And CD, he just hit double digits. That's 10 touchdowns for him now.
Yeah, and that's something you really have to applaud. That's elite level production.
Extra point forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make the score 14-0. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Now let's go. 3-19.
On first down, Rollins. And the grab by Croft. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
It's complete to Chris Conley. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, that was dangerous. Throw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Set, 3-19.
Throwing on 1st down. Rollins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
To throw again. Rollins. The Cardnials got it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
From the gun, Rollins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Wilson, he lets it fly for Lockett. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And they work this out past the 25. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. So we come upon halftime with our score 14-0. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where 5 quarters couldn't decide a winner. This one ends in a tie. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home in US Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Tyrod Taylor, strong in the victory as it pushes his guys back above the 500 mark on the year. And finally, on Monday Night Football, should be a good one there between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New England Patriots. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now look at him go. 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cardinals have cut it to within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Santos with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And he's proving again why tight ends can be so valuable in this league. He's over 150 yards.
They just continually create mismatches because of their body frame, their athletic ability. You put a little guy on them, a small corner, they can often overpower them. You put a bigger linebacker on them, they'll run by them. You name it, they almost have the last move if this were a chess game. That's why they're so valuable.
Second half begins with a run from Penny. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw two tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
They go play action here on first down. Steps away to his left. Wide open receiver complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Steps away. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now Russell Wilson appears to be shaken up. And you know they're holding their breath over on that sideline. He's still down. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Leaves it for Penny. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's first and goal. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And his kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
Now let's go. 3, 9, 2.
To throw on 2nd down. Rollins throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Called it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go to Johnson again. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
From the gun on 3rd down. Rollins He's got the hook up with Conley. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter. This quarterback now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's first down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Screen play. Johnson. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw. Rollins looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one
Hurry
back.
up. Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw on 3rd down. Rollins. And nothing but daylight ahead. The 20. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Hurry up. Here we go. Blue 90.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rollins over the middle. It's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Rollins. And he will find his man on the outside. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They only get 5 out of that quick slant, but that's good enough for a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Now let's go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Gates has it over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it's a second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he gets it down to the 32. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10.
Here we go now. Green.
Looking to throw. Rollins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Hurry up. Here we go. Green 39.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Shepard. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cardinals cut into that lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
After the penalty, it's Penny. Space to run past the 20. And down to the 7-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They'll try and run forward with Penny. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. And now right out of the 2-minute break, We'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Oh, Wilson going to throw out to his left. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Dumping it off for Johnson. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Shepard. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
All right, here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down. Rollins. This is Johnson. He's got it. 20. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And at 50 seconds left, he'll spike it to stop the clock. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Rollins. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Rollins. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
53's the mic.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Seahawks, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.